Money Mayweather. I want to punch Floyd in his face so bad. If he gave me an opportunity tomorrow, I'd do it. Okay? How can I say no?
Floyd Mayweather built an unblemished 50-0 legacy, a masterclass in defense, precision, and ring intelligence. Yet, behind that flawless record lies the untold story of Keith "One-Time" Thurman. Every fighter has a breaking point, a moment when frustration ignites into fury. For Thurman, this wasn't just another bout, it was a bold statement, an explosive challenge to the myth of Mayweather's invincibility. He was determined to reveal what many suspected, that Mayweather had deliberately avoided the one man who posed a genuine threat. Even now, long after his final bell has sounded, the Mayweather effect still echoes through the sport, inspiring legends from Manny Pacquiao to Roy Jones Jr. to imagine what it would be like to stand across from him once more.
You want to fight? Come on. I mean, I ain't tripping. You got to troll me. Come see me. That's who I am. I don't do talk well.
You think there's a possibility, Roy? Like, we might get this exhibition?
Ain't gonna be no exhibition. I want it real. I know since it be an exhibition, what we gonna play for? We gonna fight for real. What we playing for? Wasn't no exhibition. We didn't make it real. Exhibition for people playing. We ain't playing.
It's happened that way. It happened to me many times.
Did you want a rematch with Floyd?
I'm still active. It's up to him if he's going to fight.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness.
Even here.
A fight with Floyd Mayweather is never just a fight, it's a global spectacle, a cultural moment, the golden ticket known as the Mayweather payday. For an entire generation of boxers, stepping into the ring with him meant more than glory. It meant legacy, wealth, and validation. But the real challenge wasn't in fighting Mayweather, it was in being chosen.
And Mayweather's used to that, you know? It looked like Mayweather was trying to scuff up the Roy Jones Jr. They were beefing online for a little bit, right? Because Roy doesn't get Floyd no credit. He says he's not the greatest ever. He might be one of the richest ever, outside of Canelo Alvarez's new contract, $400 million. But you know, Floyd might be one of the richest ever, and one of the best of maybe his generation. But you know, not everybody is sold on TBE. Not everybody is sold on the best ever. And that's the way that Floyd has always perceived himself, with great respect. Money Mayweather. I want to punch Floyd in his face so bad. If he gave me an opportunity tomorrow, I'd do it. Okay? How can I say no? I always wanted to punch that man in the face. You know? That's actually why I never shook his hand. Never shook his hand because my satisfaction isn't in meeting you. It's in, you know, having the fight. And after the fight, we just shake hands. After the fight, I can give Floyd all the respect. I never got the fight, never gave him any real respect. You know what I mean? I actually do respect Floyd. But face to face, I can never give him respect because he never put respect on me.
Did he ever ask you, hey Keith, why you talk to me? Why did Floyd ever approach you and ask?
No, he just was in the lobby one time at the Intercontinental here, and he actually walked up to me, and you know, he was cordial. He was cool and everything, but then we were just getting to talking, and it just, you know, it is what it is. You know, he had like some.
You know, I've titled myself a knockout artist ever since I was 14 years old, and I was knocking out grown men with 16 ounce gloves and headgears, you know. So I tell people, ever since then, I've been dropping people like they had it, you know. I love being a power puncher. My first favorite fighter of all time was Mike Tyson. It was my goal to have more knockouts than Mike Tyson in my professional career, you know. Just you know, just little goals, yeah, as a kid growing up. So I started off holding it down with 8 consecutive first round KOs and TKOs here at the Alucard Pavilion in Tampa, Florida. And it took me 8 knockouts before I chose to give myself a nickname And it was because all of those knockouts occurred in the first round, and because of the devastating power, and because of the story that my father once told me, that I chose to take upon the name Keith one time.
Maybe some things y'all don't agree with that I say. I assure you, up until, y'all know Keith got gas issues, but until that gas tank start to run on E, he's a good fight against anybody.
Come on,
you don't want to hear it.
No. If you think about Keith was the guy, man.
Yeah.
Keith just ain't fighting. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think just the rust and everything's catching up with Keith.
Yeah.
Hey, supposedly we might get Keith this year.
Right before the end of the year.
You heard that's confirmed?
I mean, I talk to my boy every now and then.
Okay, shout out to Keith Thurman.
That's right, baby. You know, Floyd is supposed to be TBE, and I want to fight the best. I want to fight the man. You know, it ain't like Floyd's gonna knock me out. When has Floyd knocked anybody out in the past several years? Huh? So if anybody should be scared, it should be him. If anything I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a great learning experience in my career. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to destroying Mr. Floyd Money Mayweather. I have a motto. This is my personal motto. It's called burn money. Burn money. 2015, we getting ready to burn money. You know, I'm a young, strong champion, Floyd. Come get it. I'm undefeated like you, baby. Come take my O, baby. Come take my O. I'm ready. We'll go back to camp right now. We'll go right back to camp, baby. You see my six-pack? I'm going to go run laps tomorrow. It is what it is, man. Outside of Floyd, there's a lot of great champions in the welterweight division, and they know who to call. His name is Al Heyman. Call Al Heyman, baby. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to other opportunities. I beat this fighter, I can beat any fighter.
To get the fight, and then they politically took the position away from him by elevating him up to the super champion, which made it so that he was no longer obligated to any mandatories. And now I'm currently the WBA super champion of the world. So, you know, to me, the real purpose of holding the super champion, once when I studied the industry and understood politically what this belt and what that belt means, to me, the real purpose of having the super champ is to do things like this and have a unification bout. Because when a fighter has two belts, he's supposed to have two mandatories. Now that means that you don't really get to pick the fight that you want anymore, because now you're getting this mandatory thrown upon you from this federation, you got this mandatory thrown on you from another federation, and then it's less for you to do what you want to do for your career. So by the WBA creating that super title, that allowed Floyd to really only focus on one mandatory, which was the WBC, if he wants to take it or not, and it gave him way more room to move his career the way that he wanted to move it. And because he was able to do that, one thing that he was not presented with, one thing that nobody had to get in his face and ask him about, was how do you feel about Keith one-time Thurman, who is your number one mandatory challenger in the WBA. You know, as soon as he fought Maidana and got that title, I'm the mandatory. He schedules a rematch, so there's no point in talking about it. He wins again. Now, the question is, how do you feel about your mandatory?
And that's when Floyd Mayweather ends up fighting Marcos Maidana. To a very close fight. Maidana fought a tough fight. He fought a tough fight. I don't even know how it got to be like that, because I saw him get outboxed easily by Devin Alexander at his first fight at 147. But somehow, some way, maybe Floyd just underestimated the wild bull of a man that Maidana was at the time. And so, the fight was so entertaining. Floyd did a rematch. That time, he clearly outboxed Maidana. He didn't lay on the ropes. He didn't let so many big overhand rights come in. And it was a clear showing that Floyd got the second fight. Floyd, that was only 2 of his rematches throughout his whole career, 50-0. 2 rematches. So now, where is Floyd? He is the current, the reigning welterweight WBA champion of the world. Where was I? I was taking fights and I was maintaining position as the number 1 contender. And there was a phone call. There's a phone call I never got. And it was to fight Floyd. Somehow, never got the phone call. He said, "Hey Keith, how are you doing today?" I said, "I'm good, my man. What would you like to talk about?" He says, "Can you please tell me, how does it feel to be the WBA welterweight champion of the world? For you have been elevated." I said, "Elevated? What do you mean?" He said, "You're the champion of the world. I learned this on a phone call."
Mandated to fight Floyd.
Man, they created the WBA super title. They gave it to Floyd so that he would have to fight me. Now Mendoza is saying whoever is the super champ has to fight the regular champ. That wasn't the case when Keith Thurman was the champ.
So they just did. So they simply didn't even mandate that fight.
Know your history, man. Floyd Mayweather politically ducked 100. It was the most BS political move in the world. I get a phone call, "Hey Keith, instead of being the interim champ, you're elevated to the regular champ." So yes, I was his mandatory. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Did it ever get mandated? No. Why did it not get mandated? Because he had 2 fights with Maidana. Then they elevated him to super champ. They gave me the regular champion, and they didn't let the regular champ touch the super champ